Good morning to you, and thanks for joining us here on Daybreak in 10, right here on Color 10. We'll be on the air commercial free for 10 straight minutes beginning right now. First, we want to head over to meteorologist Beth Finello with your forecast first. Another hot one on tap, some heat advisories even.
Exactly. That's pretty much the highlight of today is the heat again. It is July. Heat advisories in effect to our north and to our west from noon today through 8 p.m. this evening. Feel like temperatures will be between 100 and 105 as we head through the afternoon. Right now, the sun is just waking up. 72 degrees in Branson, temperatures in 73 in Springfield, 71 in Monette, 75 in Joplin, 70 in Mountain Home. We have dew points generally in the 60s and in the 70s, making for a very soupy and muggy air mass. And it's also going to aid in our feel like temperatures, making it into the upper 90s and triple digits. We'll be in the lower 90s today for actual temperatures, a mix of sun and cloud, an isolated shower or two is possible. We're not looking at widespread rain through the day today. That's what Futurecast will show you. Then overnight tonight, temperatures will drop into the 70s. We will have a line of showers and storms that will dive south. There's still a little bit of uncertainty on how far south that line will actually go, but if it does make it to the Ozarks, some conditions are favorable for strong to severe storms in that slight risk, mainly up to the north and to the east. Something, of course, we'll continue to update you on. If any become strong to severe, damaging winds and large hail would be the primary threats with that. The next big story, of course, is the extreme heat that continues. We'll have lower 90s today and tomorrow. Then we start to creep up into the middle 90s by Thursday. And then we are in the upper 90s and flirting with the triple digits by the end of this week, into the weekend and into the beginning of next week. So we do have those isolated shower chances today. We'll keep those chances tomorrow and Thursday with a mix of sun and clouds. More sunshine on Friday, and that sunshine really helps boost up our temperatures. We'll be at 96 on Friday. And then in the upper 90s for much of this weekend, plenty of sunshine, but feel like temperatures between 100 and 110. And that does continue into the beginning of next week.
All right, it is 6:50, and one of the big stories that you're going to hear people talk about today is a mask mandate in Springfield. So that means if you're in the city of Springfield, you'll now have to wear a mask in public starting Thursday. Late last night, City Council approved the mask ordinance despite many pleas from residents not to pass it. Color 10's Madison Heaver has been following the story. She's here this morning with the details of that ordinance. Madison, good morning.
Good morning, Heather. After hours of public comment on this masking ordinance, Council approved the bill 8-0, with Councilwoman Phyllis Ferguson recusing herself from the vote. 61 people showed up to share public comment for or against the ordinance, taking the meeting to about 1 o'clock this morning. Anyone over the age of 12 must wear a face covering in public, and it's encouraged for ages 3 to 11. 2 amendments were made to the ordinance last night. Weddings will be exempt from using face coverings during ceremony and photo shoots, and public speakers or performers are exempt from wearing a face mask as long as they can socially distance. Here's what Cox Health Dr. Robin Trotman said in support of the ordinance.
There's no other option to contain the disease once public health is overwhelmed. And once we do that, we lose testing capacity and we have sick healthcare workers and our system will crumble. We're left with human behavior. That's our only option to slow this down.
There are also some other exemptions from wearing a mask, including certain health conditions like trouble breathing. The ordinance is set to expire in 90 days, which would reach into mid-October unless Council decides to change the date. And not wearing a face covering could result in a $100 fine for both individuals and businesses.
All right, Madison, thank you. More than 100 people came out to protest last night against the mask ordinance. Many came with signs. There were also people chanting on a megaphone as vehicles drove by on Chestnut Expressway. Rachel Shelton says she supports anyone who wants to wear a mask, but it should be everyone's choice to wear one or not.
It's a 99% recovery rate. The 1% is horrific. Of course, we don't want to see anyone die. But let's get our stats correct before we start forcing a mandate on the people of Springfield, Missouri.
Another man says he doesn't believe the virus is as bad as people have been led to believe.
The science shows that this is not nowhere as serious as originally we were told. The numbers have been ginned up, they've been changed. There's no sense. Apparently, it's a virus that thrives in a church, but not in an abortion clinic. It thrives in a mom and pop establishment, but apparently not in Walmart. There's been no consistency.
We should mention that there were also people in Springfield who demonstrated in favor of the masking ordinance there last night as well. A well-known dairy plant in Springfield is reporting positive cases of COVID-19. 2 COVID cases have been confirmed at Highland Dairy in Springfield. According to a spokesperson for the company, protocol is in place to mitigate the spread, and all plants are testing employees prior to entry of the workplace. Highland says the company has been following CDC guidelines as well as OSHA COVID guidance. The Branson Board of Aldermen will hold a special meeting on Thursday afternoon. According to the city, the meeting will discuss Chapter 58 of the Branson Municipal Code, which includes face coverings, public spaces, and the spread of communicable diseases. We'll follow that story as it continues to develop. The next steps in the City of Springfield's Road to Recovery plan will be announced later today. The city and the health department will host a briefing at 10 o'clock this morning. You can watch on the city's health department's website or Facebook pages, or also through their website. We'll probably be streaming that as well. Making news around the region in a change of tune, the Little Rock, Arkansas School District now says it will require all students to wear a mask when they come to school this fall. The news came late last night in the district's Ready for Learning plan. Over the course of the last few weeks, LRSD has maintained their stance of encouraging but not requiring a face mask, instead opting to leave it up to parents. The district now encourages parents to send masks with their kids, but there will be masks available there as well. Former Missouri Governor Eric Greitens rendered first aid to victims of a shooting near the St. Louis University campus late last night. A spokesperson said Greitens was on the scene with a friend, and they both rendered first aid to those victims. One of the victims died, while the second one is in critical condition due to a shooting. Tensions rise in Jackson County, Missouri, as legislators vote on the future of an Andrew Jackson statue. Supporters argue that the statues belong to the people of Jackson County. Legislators voted 7-2 to allow voters to determine what should happen to the bronze statue. A proposal that would have allocated money for County Executive Frank White to take down that statue immediately failed to pass, prompting White to criticize legislators for avoiding a tough decision.
I really believe that this is truly a body that doesn't want to do what it's been elected to do. They don't want to have the criticism from the public, and when that comes, you want to push this off on the public.
Mr. White, I'm sorry, but
No,
you're being insulting to us.
No,
I don't appreciate it.
I'm not being
sorry, but
insulting.
we've got a motion.
I have a right to participate in these discussions,
know-
and you can't shut me down like this.
If removed, legislators seem to agree that the statues should not be destroyed, but displayed where their history can be explained properly. News happening around America this morning. Crews in San Diego are still fighting a fire that broke out Sunday and injured at least 21 people on a Navy ship. Officials say the fire started in a vehicle storage area of the ship and then triggered an explosion. At least 17 sailors and 4 other people, including firefighters, ended up with minor injuries like smoke inhalation. The cause of the fire is now under investigation. A Washington State police officer was shot and killed and a second injured overnight following a police pursuit. Authorities say the suspect led police on a short pursuit after an attempted traffic stop. At some point, the suspect stopped and shot the 2 officers and then ran away. He was captured early this morning. The injured officer is listed in serious condition. Now here's a look at what's coming up after daybreak.
Coming up, how some classrooms are being adapted to protect students and teachers from COVID-19 in the new normal. Plus, Bill Nye the Science Guy with a demonstration on the effectiveness of masks. Coming up on CBS This Morning.
All right, so of course the big trending story around Springfield is that mask mandate that City Council passed about 1 o'clock in the morning, unanimously passed the City Council, will go into effect this Thursday, the 16th, and it will be enacted for about 90 days unless they change that. So that's something that we'll continue to follow throughout the day, also expecting a news conference from the Health Department too.
1 a.m.?
Yeah,
we were sleeping.
They heard from a lot of people. A lot of people had public comments
Yeah.
that they wanted the city to hear. So it took a while to get through, but they got through it, and that's where we stand right now. So we'll continue to follow that Another big story today is the heat that we're seeing.
Yeah, we've got some heat advisories in effect up to the north and west because feel like temperatures will be in the triple digits. That's not in effect here in Springfield. Temperatures will be in the lower 90s, feel like temperatures in the upper 90s, but I mean, what's the difference? It's going to be hot, it's going to be humid. We've got isolated shower chances today, tomorrow, Thursday, and then extreme heat really starts to crank on Friday and into much of this weekend.
All right, thanks for starting your day with us. We are approaching 7 o'clock and we'll be back with news updates throughout CBS this morning. We're always on that Colorton News app and ozarksfirst.com. Have a great day.